Welcome to session 4 of model 2. In the earlier session, I am explaining the things related to the what about the difference between flow through pipes as well as through the sewer, and what are the hydraulic formulas which are commonly used, and also what about the self-cleaning velocity, mass covering velocity, and variation of discharge, and all these things. In this session, I am giving a lecture about the what about the hydraulic elements, and also what about the advantages of the circular section over the other section, and solving one or two problems related to that particular one. Hydraulic elements of circular section. Hydraulic elements of circular section. Under that, circular section offers the following advantages. When we go for design of any flow pipes, usually we prefer a circular one. Usually prefer a circular one. Actually, theoretically, egg-shaped circulars are very effective one for carrying the minimum discharge with the maximum velocity. Since the bottom portion of the egg section is having a maximum perimeter, by that it is possible to increase the hydraulic mean depth also. But the bottom portion of the egg-shaped one carrying capacity is less since the cross-section area is less, as well as the manufacturing of such a type of sewers are somewhat difficult. So, and also the circular sections is having a so many advantages over the other shape. Other shape may be rectangular, horseshoe type, parabolic, elliptical, and all these things. So, when compared to other types of the shapes, the circular section sewers is having some of the advantages. The very first one is they are easily manufactured, means it is easy to mold. It is easy to mold. It gives maximum area for given perimeter, thus gives the greatest hydraulic mean depth when running full or partial. So it must efficient section means even for the partial flow or running full, which gives the hydraulic mean depth. Hydraulic mean depth is the it's called as R. R is the important factor which is affecting on the design of any section. It is designed in any section. So the hydraulic mean depth is more when you compare with the any other section. So it is usually preferred to carry the sewage or water through the circular section when compared to the other. It is the most economical section as it utilizes minimum quantity material. Means if you want to construct or if you construct a dia of 1 meter or cross-sectional area of 1 meter square, when you compare with the rectangular one or square one of same 1 meter square cross-sectional area, total quantity of materials which is required for a circular one is less when compared to other sections, since the total length of the perimeter is less than the other section. The total length of the perimeter is less than the other section. So therefore, we are usually prefer circular section because total quantity of the materials which are required for the construction of the sewer pipe of any cross-sectional area when compared to other section is less. It is cost effective. The circular section has uniform curvature all around ends. It is offers less opportunity for deposit. Since it is circular in nature, the chances of deposition is also less. Chances of deposition is also less. And also, total length of the perimeter is less. Therefore, the friction loss is also less. Friction is mainly depending upon the total length of the water which is in contact with the surface of the pipeline. So since the perimeter is less, the friction loss is also less. That's why we prefer circular sewer for convey the wastewater as well as for the water supply. As well as for the water supply. Circular section when running full. Like this is the internal dia of the circular section, then The total cross-sectional area or wetted cross-sectional area, usually we termed as wetted cross-sectional area, is A equals pi d square by 4, area of the circular section. Wetted perimeter, P equals pi d, total length of the water surface which is in contact with the surface of the sewer pipeline. Hydraulic beam depth, usually it is denoted as R, is ratio of wetted cross-sectional area by wetted perimeter. Wetted cross-sectional area by wetted perimeter equals d by 4. Equals d by 4. Therefore, when you go for design of a water supply pipeline, since we are assumed it is a running full condition, we can write R equals d by 4. So directly from that it is possible to find out the hydraulic parameters, and it is easy for calculation of the velocity, discharge, any hydraulic parameters for running full condition. Running full condition. Circular sewer running partially full means when we design the sewer pipeline, it is not possible to design for the running full condition. I am already explained why it is not possible to design for running full condition, and also there is a project for the freeboard. There is a project for the freeboard because there may be a excess of flow may be occurs due to improper calculation of the total quantity of sewage generated. Otherwise, due to infiltration, there may be some amount of water which may enter into the sewer by the surface runoff. Otherwise, and also, since there are so many organic matters are present in that particular sewage, it may go for decomposition. By that, it produces gases like methane, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, and all these things. So there is a passage is required for movement of the gas also. Movement of the gas also. For all this reason, so usually we are not designed for running full condition for the C1. We design for the partial. For partial means less than running full, whether it may be 0.95 times the dia, otherwise 0.3 times the dia, whatever it may be. Generally, it is termed as partially full. Partial full means other than running full. Other than running full. Here in the figure is given capital D is the dia of the sewer pipeline and O is the center and AB is the water level when it is running partially. That too it is below the center, below the running off, and also small d is the depth of flow. D by D is the proportionate depth. Usually it is termed as small d by capital D is proportionate depth, and angle AOB is usually it is called as angle subtended by the surface of the water with respect to the center of the circular section. Center of the circular section, it is theta, and C is the extension intersection of the extension of O towards the water surface, and d by 2 is the radius half of the dia. D by 2 is the half of the dia. So figure shows a circular sewer running partial full. Let d be the depth of the partial flow and theta is the central angle subtended as shown in figure. What I have explained earlier. Let small a area of cross here. Small alphabet stands for partial. Capital alphabet stands for the running full condition. Running full condition. Small p means wetted perimeter. Wetted perimeter means A to B. And R is hydraulic bend depth. It is small r for partial flow. A small v is the velocity of flow in the pipeline for partial flow. From the figure, d can be written as d by 2 minus d by 2 into cos theta by 2, and further it is simplified and express proportional depth d by d equals 1 by 2 into 1 minus cos theta by 2. So if you know the d by d ratio, from that it is possible to find out the value of theta. Otherwise, if you know the value of theta, from that it is possible to find out the d by d, small d by capital D, means proportional depth value. Proportion depth value. So on the basis of this figure, we are supposed to find out the what about the different hydraulic parameters. Different hydraulic parameters. So this one is proportionate depth d by d equals 1 by 2, 1 minus cos alpha by 2 or theta by 2. Similarly, we may get proportionate area. Proportionate area means small a stands for wetted cross-sectional area for partial flow. Capital A stands for wetted cross-section for running full condition. Running full condition. So you substitute and find out the finally value of A by A equals alpha by 360 minus sin alpha by 2 pi, where alpha equals theta. This angle subtended by the surface of the water with respect to the center, and proportionate diameter perimeter means P by P. Small p stands for partial, capital P for running full, alpha by 360. If it is running full, alpha is 360, automatically it is pi d. So, and then proportion mean depth is small r by capital R equals 1 minus 360 sin alpha by 2 pi alpha. Once again, here r by r stands for proportionate hydraulic mean depth. Small r stands for partial, capital stands for running. Proportionate velocity, small v by capital V equals capital N by small n into r to small r to the power 2 by 3, capital R to the power by 2 by 3. So these things are generally called as a hydraulic elements of a circular section. Hydraulic element of a circular section. So continuation of this one once again, area equals after in this equation they are explained how we are getting the value of small a as well as capital A and all these things. So small a equals pi d square by 4 into theta by 360 minus sin theta by 2 pi, and proportionate area a by a. So small a is this much and divided by pi d square by 4, pi d square by 4, pi d square by cancel. The remaining is theta by 360 minus sin theta by 2 pi is the proportionate area. Similarly, we go for perimeter. P equals pi d into theta by 360. Okay, substitute theta 360 automatically it cancel for running full condition pi d only. For proportionate perimeter, okay, this one is for small p. Once again, p by p equals pi d cancel, remaining is theta by 360. Hydraulic mean depth, small r equals small a by small p. Anyway, we know small a equals pi d square by 4 into theta by 360 minus sin theta by 2 pi. And we know p, pi d into theta by 360. Further simplification, we get small r equals d by 4 into 1 minus 360 sin theta by 2 pi theta, and bring d this side, and finally proportion hydraulic mean depth r by r equals d by 4 into 1 minus 360 sin theta by 2 pi theta by d by 4, where capital R equals hydraulic mean depth for running full condition. Directly we can written as d by 4 pi d square by 4 by pi d. So we can directly written as d by 4, and further simplification we get 1 minus 360 sin theta by 2 pi theta, which gives the proportionate hydraulic mean depth. And velocity of flow v Manning's equation 1 by n or to the power 2 by 3 is to the power of 1 by 2, where Manning's equation is depending upon the value of n, and we further simplify, we get v by v equals capital N by small n into small r by capital R to the power of 2 by 3. So hydraulic element for circular sewer running partially, which table gives the value of, and before that we go for discharge. So discharge equals q by q equals small a into small v, where n by n equals 1. What we are assumed, depth of flow varies, there is no variation in the value of n, therefore it is 1. Proportion discharge equals q equals AB, small q equals small a into small v, capital Q equals capital A into V. And once again, A by A, we know that theta by 360 minus sin theta by 2 pi. And also we know R by R. I don't mean that 1 minus 360 sin theta by 2 pi theta, and simplify, we get theta by 360 1 minus 360 sin theta by 2 pi theta. So for variable values of n by n, we get it is goes on varying. Q by q equals capital N by small a by capital A, small r by r to the power of 2 by 3. But what we are assuming the value of n is constant throughout the depth. So this table which gives the standard value. What about the values of for different depth of flow or for different proportionate depth? What about the value of other hydraulic elements? What about the value of hydraulic elements? D by D equals 1. Almost all the things are 1 only. Whether you go for A by A, P by P, R by R, N by N, or for variable V by V, Q by Q, and all the things are goes on one only. But if you are observed, if it is running full condition, D by D ratio is 1 means it is running full condition. A by A is also 1, P by P is also 1, R by R is also 1, V by V is also 1, Q by Q is also 1. Okay, but once the depth of flow varies, if it's partial flow, zero point 0.9 from the depth, then value of A by A as well as P by P, R by R is goes on varying. But if you observe from the table, show that what about the value of R by R? It is greater than 1 for partial flow, that too for zero point 0.9 depth. What about the value of V by V? It is 1.124, more than 1. Okay, similarly, Q by Q is also 1.01. So the value of V by V as well as Q by Q is more than 1 for partial flow. This is the speciality of this one. Okay, the value of V by V as well as Q by Q is 1 for running full condition, but it is more than 1 for zero point 0.9. Once again, you go for zero point 0.8. If you are observed on the table, the V by V is 1.14 once again, but the Q by Q is just less than 1 and goes on decreasing. From the table, what you are observed that so value of V by V as well as Q by Q is greater than 1 for partial flow, that too less than 1. If it is full running full condition, all the values are 1, 1, 1 only. But if it is running partial flow, then it exceeds the value of 1. Then it is exceeds the value of 1. If you draw the graph of, you see, if you draw the graph of d by d versus other hydraulic elements, A by A, R by R, V by V, Q by Q, as well as N by N. From the curve, it is observed that if you see R by R value, dark line, okay, left one, definitely it is more than 1 for zero point 0.9 as well as zero point 0.8 as well as zero point 0.7 and all these things. See second dotted line V by V. See from the graph you observe that V by V is also more than 1 and it is maximum for D by D ratio is zero point 0.8. If the D by D is zero point 0.8 then V by V is maximum. V by V is maximum. I think we are getting 1 by 1.14. Similarly, if you observe Q by Q, if you observe Q by Q, second dotted line, okay, once again Q by Q value is also more than 1 for zero point 0.9, around 0.95. Otherwise, in between zero point 0.9 and 1, the value of Q by Q is also more than 1. And in remaining things, it is less than 1 only. This is the speciality of the hydraulic element. Means in very simple word, the ratio of V by V as well as Q by Q and all these things is not maximum for running full condition. These things are maximum only for the partial flow. That too V by V as well as Q by Q. Okay, V by V is maximum for zero point 0.8 and Q by Q is maximum for around 0.91, more than 1. It is called as a specialty of that particular one. And also, if you observe all the hydraulic elements, D by D, A by A, P by P, R by R, N by N, whatever it may be, if you are observed in all these hydraulic element, all the things are constant except the alpha or angle subtended by the surface of the water with respect to the center. Means Depth of flow varies, alpha is also varies. Remaining things are constant. Remaining things are constant. So this is the speciality of that particular one. You see, in all the above equations, except alpha, everything is constant. Hence, for different values of alpha, all the proportionate elements can be easily calculated. Means if you go for d by d, if you suppose d by d equals 1 by 2 into 1 minus cos alpha by 2. If you know the value of alpha, it is possible to find out d by d. For example, if you assume alpha angle subtended by the surface of the water is 180 degree, otherwise half full. Okay, substitute alpha is 180, then you get d by d is 0.5. Like that, if it is 3/4, then it is 0.75 d by d. So if you know the value of alpha, from that it is possible to find out d by d. Otherwise, if you know the value of d by d, it is possible to find out the value of alpha. So for example, d by d equals 0.5, then automatically alpha is 180 degree. Okay, like that, if alpha is only the parameter which is goes on varying with respect to the depth. With respect to the depth. These values of the hydraulic elements can be obtained from the proportionate graph prepared from the different values of d by d. Means you see this is the graph what I am explaining earlier. This graph is getting for different values of d by d. The values of Manning's n can be considered constant for all depths, but in reality it varies with the depth of flow and it may be considered variable with depth and accordingly. The hydraulic elements value can be read from the graph for different depth of pressure. If d by depth of flow varies, actually n is varies, but for make the calculation easier one, what we are assuming, even though depth of flow varies, value of Manning's constant is constant. There is no much more variation. There is no much more variation. The silent feature of the hydraulic element chart. The silent feature of the hydraulic element chart is the maximum velocity is produced not when the sewer is running full, what I explained earlier, but when the depth of flow is about 0.81 times the full depth, then the value of velocity is increased by 12.5%, more than the velocity when running full. Means when the velocity of flow is more 12.5% more when the depth of flow is zero point 0.8. You see, observe from the graph. If it is zero point 0.8 dotted line is crossing the 1.1 means 1.14 around means it is around 12% more 12.5% more than the running full condition. The fact is due to the reason as the depth of flow increases behind the mid depth. Mid depth means running off. The proportionate area rises more rapidly than the proportionate wetted perimeter. Means hydraulic mean depth equals A by P, but A increases rapidly than the wetted perimeter and thus resulting in increasing the proportionate hydraulic mean depth. Means if the depth of flow is more than half, automatically wetted cross-section area increases more when compared to the wetted perimeter. Therefore, the hydraulic mean depth value is more and velocity is more than 1. Therefore, the velocity is more than 1 for the value of d by d is 0.85. This also arises proportion discharge by about 13%. The maximum discharge is reached when depth of flow is about 0.95 times the full depth. Once again, depth of flow is also increases. You see, first dotted line q by q is discharge is q by q is more than 1 for 0.95 depth. 0.95 depth. So this is the salient features of the hydraulic mean hydraulic chart. Hydraulic chart. So next we pass on to the some of the problems related to the design of a hydraulic structure of a sewer pipeline. First problem is calculate the velocity of flow and corresponding discharge in a sewer of circular section having a diameter equal to 1 meter laid in the gradient of 1 in 500. The sewer runs at zero point 0.6 depth The Manning's constant is 0.012. Means he is given the value of d by d. D by d is zero point 0.6. Okay, and also is given the dia 1 meter and gradient 1 in 500, and he is asked to find out the what about the velocity of flow and all these things. Anyhow, is given the d by d ratio is zero point 0.6. D by d equals, you find out the value of alpha. D by d equals 1 by 2 into 1 minus cos alpha by 2. From that you find out the value of alpha or theta. It is around 203.07 degree, or in terms of sin theta it is 0.391. And also for running full condition, capital A equals pi d square by 4. Anyway, is given the value of D. Substitute and get 0.7854. And capital P equals pi d. I think you get 3.141. And R equals D by 4 running full condition. So anyhow, it is given the value of D1. So 0.25. This is the hydraulic parameters related to the running full condition. For partial flow, we find out A by A. Okay, theta by 360 minus sin theta by 2 pi. Okay, and substitute, you get 0.6265 is the A by A ratio. But we want to find out the capital A, means cross section area for partial flow. A by A equals 0.6265. Therefore small a equals 0.625 into capital A. We get 0.492 is the A by A ratio. Similarly, R by R. Okay, so you get 1.106, and small r equals capital R into 1.106, we get 0.2276. So, and also we know that from the Manning's equation, v equals 1 by n r to the power of 2 by 3 s to the power of 1 by 2. So we know n equals 0.012, and we know small r equals 0.2776. We know slope 1 in 500, and finally we get the velocity of flow in this sewer pipeline is 1.586 meter per second. Once we know the velocity, it is possible to find out the q, small q. Small q equals a into v. So A is 0.492 and V small v is 1.5986. So you get 0.78 cumex per meter cube per second is the discharge when it is partial. It is partial. Similarly, it is possible to find out the running full condition, velocity of flow in the running full condition. Capital V equals 1 by n or capital R to the power of 2 by 3 is to the power of 1 by 2. Anyhow, we know the value of R equals d by 4 and it is 0.25. We get 1.479 meter per second when it is running full. Similarly, Q equals AV, capital Q, capital A into V, where capital A is 0.7856 and V is 1.479, we get 1.162 meter cube per second. And also it is possible to find out the V by V as well as Q by Q. Next, second problem. Find the minimum velocity and gradient required to transport coarse sand through a sewer of 60 centimeter dia with a sand particle of 1 mm dia and specific gravity 2.66. Assume beta equals 0.006 and f equals 0.02. Assume the sewer to run off full, take n equals 0.012. Means here we are supposed to find out the what about the minimum velocity. Minimum velocity means self-cleaning velocity by using the shield equation. So Vs equals square root of 8 beta by f into Gs minus 1 by into G into ds, and we know beta equals 0.06, f equals 0.02, and specific gravity is 2.66 of the solids, and the size of the particle is 1 mm, or you substitute in meter only 0.001 meter, and substituted we get 0.625 meter per second is the self-cleaning velocity for the given data. Anyhow, is given the value of d. Okay, running off full automatically alpha is 180 degree or d by d equals 0.5. Okay, so theta is 180. Directly we can return as since it is running full condition, value of theta is 180 degree. So a equals pi d square by 8, p equals we get pi d by 2, r equals once again it is d by 4 only. So even though it is running full condition d by 4 or off full condition, then also it is d by 4. So we get 0.125. And by using the Maness equation, small v equals 1 by n or to the power of 2 by 3 is to the power of 1 by 2 is substitute where v equals vs. Vs means partial flow, otherwise self-cleaning velocity of flow. So we get 0.625 meter per second. So n is constant. So you substitute and find out the value of the slope. Okay, for 0.625 is the velocity of flow, and 0.125 is the value of r, and substitute it, we get the value of s for slope is 1 in 1111. Usually slope is expressed 1 in something, otherwise 0.00 something in, so the otherwise 10 to the power of minus 3, you go for inverse, we get the value of yes. Okay, thank you.